It's time to take you through This Week in Nicholls Athletics as we bring you the best of Colonel sports from Nicholls State University. This Week in Nicholls Athletics is presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. This Week in Nicholls Athletics is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Rouse's, either you're local or you're not. Good evening and welcome to This Week in Nicholls Athletics presented by State Farm Insurance. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. We've got another packed show for you today, and we begin on an inspiring note from one of our own. Nicholls cross-country runner Ross Malooly isn't running right now. Just a college junior, he's had to stand and fight the battle of his life while planting the seeds of his legacy. Ashley Bull has his remarkable story.
In the world of sports, people see it as a battle when competing to win. But one of Nicholls' own is faced with a larger struggle, one he's been fighting for over 2 years, and one in which losing simply is not an option. Cross-country junior Ross Malooly has been a competitive runner since high school, earning all-district and all-parish honors at Vanderbilt Catholic High School in nearby Houma, Louisiana. As his talents became evident, he was presented with an offer to compete at the next level.
Well, I ran at Vanderbilt in my junior year. I was all-state in cross country, and my senior year I didn't do as well, but Nicholls ended up offering me a scholarship, and I took that because it was close to home. Just enjoyed the atmosphere of Nicholls so much. I ended up joining other organizations. Cross country team's like a small family, so you just get used to being surrounded by everyone that's there.
As a freshman at Nicholls, Ross competed in all 5 events, turning in a career best 8K time of 28 minutes 50 seconds at the Southland Conference Championship. While making a statement at Nicholls, he was faced with a life-changing scenario, putting a sudden hold on his cross-country career. After experiencing an unusual shortness of breath and other symptoms, he had no choice but to see a doctor.
Well, I first started out this summer. I was losing a lot of weight and everything, and my parents noticed mostly. I was going to the doctor for different things. They thought it was mono and everything else. Basically everything you can think of, they were treating me for. And then the doctors figured out that I had cancer on November 10th, 2010. Since then, I've just been getting treatment for cancer.
Before Ross was diagnosed with stage 3 colorectal cancer, his parents, Monica and Jim, knew something was bothering their son.
We were relieved to find out that they actually found something wrong, but then we were terrified.
When it's your child, it's a lot different. He knew there was something wrong before, and once we found out, it explained a lot. The bad thing is that once we knew something was wrong, he wanted to finish out his season and actually hid some of the symptoms from us. It's a terrifying thing to have your child go through something like that. It's every parent's nightmare.
Along with the support of his family, Ross was able to take on the cancer, defeating it through the first round of procedures.
The chemotherapy didn't affect him. And his doctor at the time had said, he had never had anybody that physically fit being treated there before. It's not something they get. And he just whizzed through that. Radiation was and that's the thing with cancer, I guess. Ross didn't have a hard time with chemo. He had a hard time with radiation. Now, the chemo he's on now is 6 different agents, and it's about as rigorous a chemotherapy as you can go through.
Thinking the worst was over, Ross's hopes to run again vanished as the cancer resurfaced.
They were able to remove the tumor with the surgery, but the tumor grew back in different places, and it metastasized. Now I'm going through chemo treatment because the tumor's never going to be fully gone. They're just hoping to be able to kill it.
Through the struggle, Ross refused to let the cancer stop him from continuing his education. Monica and Jim expected nothing less from their son.
His body, it hadn't recovered at any length. His mom drove him back and forth to school because that was his desire. He wanted to be there because he wanted to be close to Nicholls. He's had higher GPAs than he had that semester, but I don't think anybody's worked harder going through what he was going through at the time.
Had a lot of surgeries, so that's the main thing. Is with the treatments that I have, they always want you to do it as quickly as possible, and the main thing is being able to recover, and sometimes you're not able to recover before the next treatment starts.
The full force of the cancer's return may have halted Ross's pursuit of a degree and running career, but it doesn't stop him from making a difference in his community. Ross founded the Ross Mullooly Project, Outrunning Cancer, which supports various organizations to help cancer patients and their families. His passion for running has led to his first event that will be held December 15th. Ross never thought the event would grow as it did.
Actually started off as just a raffle. Everybody that we talked to that we were selling raffle tickets to just figured because I was a runner for so long that there was a run. So we contacted BRASS, which is the Body Runners Association, and they helped set up a run for us. It got to the point where we couldn't get people to stop donating things.
As Ross continues to fight his way through this battle, he is thankful for his family's unending support. His parents have seen a change in him, and his father has come to view Ross as something more than a son.
To me, my son is my hero.
Yeah.
He has never once felt sorry for himself through this. Ross has never once said, why me? It was always, I want to do for somebody else. When he was diagnosed, nobody had seen his disease, this particular cancer, in somebody his age. His attitude was, well, at least they'll check for people now. And they have.
As Ross's situation raises awareness for others, his family looks forward to another year along with some informative data about Ross's condition.
I'm just glad he's about to have another birthday in January, Monday he's going to have some more scans, and so we're going to find out if the treatment he's on is the right one. We're going to all be there as a family. We're going to take it on the chin and see what they tell us. Whatever it is, we're going to get through it. We know we can.
Though Ross's battle against cancer is not over yet, he is grateful for the continuous support from Nicholls, other local schools, and his community. The journey continues this Saturday morning as the Ross Mullooly Project, Outrunning Cancer, holds its 5K run in downtown Houma. For This Week in Nicholls Athletics, I'm Ashley Bull.
Thank you, Ashley. Here's some more info on Saturday's event. It'll be held in downtown Houma beginning at 10 a.m. in the Courthouse Square. Registration starts at 9. All those great things that Ross talked about, a 5K run, walk, a raffle with some terrific prizes, including Saints and Hornets tickets, a silent auction, and a blood drive. Auctioneer will donate $10 to the Hope Lodge, Ross's charity of choice, for everyone who donates. More information available, or you can purchase a raffle ticket by calling 985-852-2623, that number up on your screen, or log on to GoColonels.com and go to the cross country page. We hope to have footage from that event for you on next week's show. We'll be back in a moment.
Does State Farm let me bundle auto, home, and life to save money?
Sure. We practically invented bundling. It all stays with State Farm.
So my policies don't go to some bundling center that ships them off to some bundle factory? I'm dealing with you, and not some bungling, bustling bundle builders.
Who have you been working with?
Stay with the company you trust.
Bundle and save with your local State Farm agent.
At Rouse's, we love football. We love the players, we love the fans, and we love the food. So whether it's high school, college, or pros, if there's a game, we're tailgating. You can tackle your tailgate too with one stop by Rouse's. Get Rouse's ready to grill meat, chicken, and pork. Or pick up Rouse's ready to serve tailgate specials. Everything is made fresh for the game, and it's all good. So get the home field advantage every time you shop. Shop local. Shop Rouse's. Now that's tailgating.
Back to you on This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. It's been a bruising couple of weeks for the Nicholls men's basketball team. The Southland Conference's leading scorer, senior guard Fred Hunter, went down with a leg injury in a victory over UNO a couple of weeks back and has been out of action since. Sophomore forward Lachlan Prestes missed the last 2 games while recovering from a concussion, while junior guard Pedro Maciel was held out of the last contest with a concussion as well. On top of all that, sophomore forward Sam McBeth has had his minutes limited due to a bug that he seems finally ready to shake. So the club was shorthanded yet again when it visited Tulane last Tuesday night, with head coach J.P. Piper starting 2 freshmen and 2 sophomores while giving big minutes off the bench to a newcomer who had been cleared to play just days earlier. We take you to the Devlin Fieldhouse, where Tulane had won each of their first 6 home games this season. Shane Reillier, one of 3 New Orleans natives on the Colonel roster, returning to their hometown. Colonel's hanging around. First minute, Macbeth up top to Rillier, then screens for the cutting T.J. Carpenter. Finishing at the hoop, T.J. led the way with 15 points. Moments later, Carpenter returns the favor. Left corner, whips it to Macbeth at the bucket. 3 minutes in, Nicholls up 4 points. Sam played 19 minutes as he tries to get healthy again. But he had to sit with 2 quick fouls. Tulane takes advantage. Jordan Callahan with the open look from the corner. Tulane up 9-8. Callahan went over the 1,000-point plateau in his career. 6 minutes in now, Ricky Tarrant between the rings drives the lane high off the glass. Green Wave up 14-10. Tarrant with a game-high tying 16 points. Wave go on an 11-0 run. The outlet to Callahan sees the opening using the glass. Colonels down 20-10. Callahan scored 11 in the first half. Colonels, though, start to bounce back. In transition, Rillier running, leaves it for Carpenter. Back-to-back bonus balls for T.J. Nicholls within 5. 3 minutes left in the half. Inbounds here with 6 on the shot clock. Rillier jacks up the 3 and connects. Nicholls hits 7 from beyond the arc. We got ourselves a 3-point game. Later in the half, Colonels work it into the corner to Lyndon Smith Hyde. And then the post feed and dunk by Jamarcus Horst. Jamarcus, big game. Though the Colonels were down by 6 at the half. Second half now, Amin Torres making his collegiate debut. Stripped by Josh Davis. He and Callahan run the break. The oop to Davis. The deficit is now 11 points. 15 minutes left. Rillier deals to Carpenter up top, shoveling to Torres. Loses his footing on the drive, but finds Horace for the hoop. Colonels still in it, down by 8. But Tulane goes on a 10-0 run. Josh Birchfield kicks out of the post to Tarrant. Penetration, the finish, and the foul. And the Colonels never recovered. One positive was the play of Amin Torres. This is his collegiate debut. He finished with 10 points, 4 assists in 23 minutes. But he provided all of his scoring off the Colonels' short bench. Nicholls put up a fight under tough circumstances, but fell to the Wave, 65-48. Nicholls now 1-4 on the year. That's the bad news. The good news is that several players are expected to return from injury for tonight's game at UNO. And Dantrell Thomas is just a week away from suiting up. The junior guard for Manny averaged nearly 12 points and over 3 boards per game last year, but has missed the first 5 games of this season due to some administrative issues. He's back starting next week and should provide a huge spark for the Colonels. We spoke earlier today with head coach J.P. Piper to get the game plan for tonight's rematch against the Privateers.
Tonight we're going to have to do a better job of protecting the rim than we did against these guys the last time we played them. I thought late in the game, particularly in the second half, they scored 47 points. Just didn't think we did a good job defensively. A lot of those buckets were them just laying the ball up at the rim. So we got to do a better job of fighting penetration and protecting the rim. Control tempo of the game. We made shots here. We got to make shots over there. I think we scored 92 points. I don't know if we'll get 92 on the road, so we got to defend a little better and put the ball in the basket.
Fortunately, it looks like you're going to have everybody available.
Yeah, everybody's healthy. Last couple of days in practice, everyone's been out there, so knock on wood. Hopefully that can continue. Hopefully this little injury bug's behind us and maybe stay healthy the rest of the way. No sickness, nothing but the minor stuff you'd expect, an ankle here maybe and there. But, good to see Fred back in practice. Good to have Lachlan back in practice. And Sam is climbing out of the hole he was in with sickness. So it's good to see those guys healthy, and we're a much different team with those guys on the floor.
The trademark of your team has been toughness. It's always been that way. Part of developing a tough team is making sure you're tough in practice, but it's led to some injuries. How do you find a balance in between?
I don't know. I hadn't figured that out. We ordered helmets. That's what we did. So we got to do a better job of protecting these guys' heads from these concussions. It's kind of scary, really, for me. When you look at a kid and he doesn't know where he's at, he's not sure what day it is. And because you're around them every day, you know them well, and you can tell they're off, that they're a little glassy-eyed. Even a day later, they just don't look right. That's a scary deal. An ankle, no big deal. Elbows, fingers, okay. But when you start talking about brain injuries, it gets a little scary. So we've ordered some helmets. Some of the other schools around the country, Louisville, Tulane in particular, are having their guys wear these helmets in practice. They're MMA sparring helmets, just provides them a little extra protection. We want to play with toughness. We want to be physical. I think teams that win do that. But I'm also concerned about the safety of our guys. I don't want to be so tough that we got guys that are spending more time on the side than we are in practice. So I think there's a balance. We do struggle to find it. I don't think we're doing anything that other teams around the country aren't doing. And talking to other coaches, there are a lot of concussions around the country. And we're trying to stay ahead of the curve, and we're hearing that people are starting to do these practices with these helmets on. So we're going to give it a shot and see if we can't protect our guys a little better in practice.
I know you'd rather go without this silver lining, but it's still out there. The younger guys have been getting time in the absence of Fred and Sam and Locke. Specifically, TJ Carpenter's been playing 35, 36 minutes a game. He's been shining.
Yeah, he has. TJ's looked great, and really the two guys I think have benefited the most are Jamarcus and Travis Julian. They've gotten a lot of minutes with Fred and Locke off the floor that they honestly wouldn't have gotten had Fred and Locke been healthy. So I'm hopeful that when we have to put those guys in games for shorter spells as we get into conference in January and February, that they're well prepared for what they need to do. And, anytime you play young kids, you say, well, I hope they don't hurt us tonight. I think these guys will be in a position where they can help us. It's not so much don't hurt us, it's get out there and make positive plays and maybe actually help us extend a lead or, keep an opponent in a position where we have a chance to win the game.
We got a glimpse of Amin Torres in the Tulane game, came on strong in the second half. After a jittery first half, and understandable, he only had a few practices under his belt. Where does he fit in the long run?
We hadn't figured that out. I think the reflexive thought would be, well, that's going to take some of Pedro's minutes, but actually I like playing Amin with Shane. We did that at Tulane. Pedro's kind of been our backup at the point. Amin was recruited as a point, but I don't mind playing Pedro and Amin together, give Shane a blow. So we hadn't quite figured all that out yet, and quite honestly, don't really care. I mean, we'll sort it out as we go forward. But I don't necessarily think that it takes minutes away from Pedro. It just gives us another weapon on the perimeter. So maybe you go small with three guards, with Dantrell being that other guard, Theodore being that other guard. So you have Shane, Amin, and Dantrell on the floor together and go a little smaller, but still pretty good. Shane's out, maybe it's Pedro, Amin, and TJ Carpenter on the floor together, three smaller guards. So it gives us a lot more options, and we're excited to have Amin in the mix.
Once Dantrell Thomas comes back next week and gets the green light, that's another game changer.
No question. He's a guy that, we thought coming into the season would be our best player. We weren't sure what Fred was going to do, how he was going to look, how his body would respond to the work. I'd be hard-pressed right now to tell you one was better than the other. I can't wait to get DT on the floor. It just gives you another weapon. And what we're struggling with right now in practice is having these guys be a little more selfish. Dantrell wants to pass the ball every time, and he's at the rim. He should just lay it up. Fred's the same way. Fred's wanting to give it to DT and to Sam. Say, hey, guys, go make a play. So we got to teach him when to be selfish, when to go score. But that's certainly a lot better problem than having to tell a guy, hey, would you pass the ball once in a while? These guys love playing together. They're all very talented, and it's going to be fun to watch this team develop down the stretch.
All right, good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Mike.
The head coach of the Colonels, J.P. Piper, his team heading to New Orleans again tonight, taking on the UNO Privateers in a rematch. A few weeks ago, the Colonels picked up a 92-79 victory here at Stouffer Gymnasium. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock. You can listen on the Colonel Sports Radio Network. We'll be back with more here in a moment on This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance.
Does State Farm let me bundle auto, home, and life to save money?
Sure. We practically invented bundling, and it all stays with State Farm.
So my policies don't go to some bundling center that ships them off to some bundle factory? I'm dealing with you, and not some bungling, bustling bundle builders.
Who have you been working with?
Stay with the company you trust.
Bundle and save with your local State Farm agent.
At Rouse's, we love football. We love the players, we love the fans, and we love the food. So whether it's high school, college, or pros, if there's a game, we're tailgating. You can tackle your tailgate too with one stop by Rouse's. Get Rouse's ready to grill meat, chicken, and pork, or pick up Rouse's ready to serve tailgate specials. Everything is made fresh for the game, and it's all good. So get the home field advantage every time you shop Shop local. Shop Rouse's. Now that's tailgate.
Back here on This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. It's time to announce the Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Either you're local or you're not. Rouse's Supermarkets are local, with their roots established in Thibodaux in 1923. Trust Rouse's for great food and great values. This week, our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week is freshman guard TJ Carpenter. The Sibley, Louisiana native put up 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists against Tulane. TJ second on the team in scoring and rebounding this year and leads the club in three-point and free throw percentage. TJ, our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week. Well, it's finals week here at Nicholls, but things are still as busy as ever. Summer Davis gets us caught up.
The end of the semester is here, but exciting events are still happening around campus. The Colonel women's basketball team is coming off a long break. 2 high school football regions are going to compete in an annual battle this weekend, and one student athlete is learning that with his busy schedule, he might not always have time to learn in a classroom. It has been over 2 weeks since the Nicholls women's basketball team last played. Off to the best start in school history at 6-2. The team is putting in their work at practice to sustain their momentum and focus on what needs to be accomplished in order to come out on top at the end of the year.
We put a lot into what we do in terms of it's about us. So we have to perfect our offense. We have to perfect our defense. We have to perfect all the intangibles that go into the game. And that's what we've been focusing on with this break.
Head coach Doobie Plaisance knows that challenges are ahead, but there is one thing she consistently expects.
My father, when I was a player, he was on a road trip, and he gave me a coffee cup. And the coffee cup said quite simply, expect to win. And I take that into my daily life. I expect nothing less. Sometimes the outcome is not what our expectations are, but all that means we have to go back to the drawing board and work harder. But for now, I expect to win.
The Colonels are back in action this Thursday as they visit Alabama State in Montgomery. Tip-off is scheduled for 5:30. This Friday, Nicholls will host the Thibodaux Lions Club Bayou River Showdown at John L. Guidry Stadium. This annual high school football all-star game pits the best senior stars against each other. Competing from the River region are players from St. Charles, St. John, and St. James parishes, and the stars from the Bayou region come from Assumption, Terrebonne, and Lafourche parishes. Last year, the River region beat the Bayou 16-14. The contest has featured many players who have gone on to star in the college ranks, including Colonel receiver Damon Boat, who earned Bayou MVP honors in 2008. Scholarships are offered to anyone who competes in the game.
Initially, we came up with an idea where we wanted to raise enough funds to give a few scholarships. So after that first game in 2005, we gave out 4 scholarships. And to be eligible for these scholarships, you either have to play as a football player in a game, as a senior. You've chosen to play in the game as an all-star. If you participate on a high school football team as a senior, you can also apply for the scholarship. And we invite any cheerleader, any senior cheerleader from any one of the 20 or so high schools to come in and participate in the game. If they come in and cheer that night for the game, then they're eligible to participate or eligible to apply for the scholarships. Since that first year, like I said, we gave 4 scholarships. We now have to date given out 96 scholarships at $500 one-time scholarships.
Kickoff is slated for 7 p.m. and admission is $7 at the gate. While the Colonel should find some great talent to recruit at the game, the ultimate focus is on bringing in student athletes who can earn a degree. Now, Nicholls is making that more convenient than ever. Instead of going to a classroom, Nicholls offers over 100 courses online. These courses are designed to help students free up a little time in the classroom while still being able to complete their coursework. Although 2 types of online courses are offered at the moment, starting in the spring, Nicholls Online is going to come into complete effect.
We're going to offer some full programs online, 7 academic programs, online, totally online, but a student who chooses this option has got to be 100% in this program because of the way that it's structured. The courses are 8-week sessions instead of 15-week sessions. So somebody does better just focusing on 1 or 2 subjects, getting through that, and then focusing on 2 other subjects as opposed to having 4 or 5 or 6 all combined together. That might be a great way to go.
Baseball season is right around the corner, and with his schedule about to be jam-packed, senior Matt Richard is one of many student athletes who is using the online offerings to his advantage.
I prefer it online because, I I can vary my schedule around, and it won't have to be to where I sit in a classroom with a whole bunch of other people. I can actually get the work done in my apartment or whenever I do have the time.
Reporting for This Week in Nicholls Athletics, I'm Summer Davis.
Thank you very much, Summer. We are back with you here chatting with the jack of all trades of the Nicholls Athletics Department, Associate AD Brandon Ruttley. Good to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
You run marketing, promotions, fundraising. What's your number one thing on your plate right now?
Number one always is generating more revenue with Colonel Athletic Association, I would say. We're actually trying to get new members every year. We started with 109. Last year we had 290. Currently we were about 253, and so we're above the trend line of where we finished last year. So I would say that would be my number one objective, my number one job, what I'm held accountable for. But a lot of other different things, ticketing. Last summer we changed from a new ticketing website, Ticketmaster Classic, to University Tickets, and that has been a big help for us, making it more user friendly for people to buy tickets. Anywhere you go, pro sports, minor league, you buy your tickets before you go to the game. You don't do it when you walk up, and that's been our model for a long time. And so we're kind of changing the way our fans think about buying tickets with us, and it's worked out great. We've we've generated more revenue in 4 games this year in football than we did in 5 games the year before. So things are looking great in the ticket aspect of things. And so, it's going really well.
I know a big priority for you was improving the fan experience at the game. How have you gone about doing that?
It starts with our corporate sponsors and getting more sponsors to buy into our product. And when you have a corporate sponsorship with a company, there's perks that comes along. Sometimes they'll give gift certificates to different places. And, for example, Rouse's, with the Express Lanes Challenge for football, they gave away a $100 gift certificate. And so, when we get those different, gift certificates, we're able to have more promotions, for the fans, and we're gearing it more towards students, because we want the students to have a good, time, on campus. And me being a former student here, I can tell you that, I remember sporting events, and that's kind of some of the stuff that sticks out in your mind as you move on into your career, just, what you did in college. We want to make that fun.
Got about a minute left. Stuff Stouffer, big event coming up here Thursday, January the 24th. Tell us about it.
Stuff Stouffer is, in our big roundtable discussions, we're looking around for a big promotion to do in basketball, and we decided, let's try to break an attendance record in Stouffer. And so we want to try to get as many people as we can. It's going to be faculty appreciation night, read out. We're going to have a student tailgate from 3 to 5 before our 5:30 women's tip-off, and 7:30 men's. So we're looking forward to it. We've got a lot of different things. A lot of different avenues we're promoting the game through, and I think it'll be our biggest attendance ever in a basketball game, which is going to be saying a lot.
Thursday, January the 24th. It's right around the corner. Brandon, thanks so much. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you having me on.
That's going to do it for our program today. We will wrap up the semester next Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. We'll talk to you then. Until then, take care. Today's show has been presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. This show has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Rouse's, either you're local or you're not. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.